The Ethiopian capital has raised a brand new army. Men and women from all walks of life who will soon be sent to the front. And we found them at their first parade at a school in Addis Ababa, one of 11 such events held across this sprawling city. So far, they've received 2 days of training, and they don't have guns or gear. But that didn't matter to the crowd, who roared on their neighbours preparing for war, then cheered on the man who asked them to fight. Abiy Ahmed, they cry, the name of the country's prime minister. Last year, he promised to eliminate the TPLF, the leaders of the region of Tigray. But it would prove a miscalculation. Now, TPLF fighters are advancing on the capital. Ethiopia will prevail, said this speaker, calling for the city's defense. Yet it is the residents of this African megacity who may prove a bigger obstacle to the TPLF than these would-be fighters.
There's nothing forced, there's nothing put on about their support for the government and for Abiy Ahmed, and it does make you wonder how the TPLF would hold this city, how it would occupy them, because they don't want them.
Residents don't want international journalists here either. They're regularly accused of backing the enemy.
We are fighting with the TPLF in front, and we are fighting the international community with propaganda. They are also fighting us with a false propaganda.
Okay, who is fighting you with propaganda?
Like the medias who are managed by the intelligence centers.
So there's an international conspiracy to put the TPLF in power?
Of course.
As the fighting draws closer to the capital city, the powers of the police have been increased with a 6-month state of emergency. And an auxiliary force of citizen officers now patrol the streets in support. They have little training, no authority in law, but they've been told to protect the city. And they told us they're on the lookout for the TPLF. Have you found any members of the TPLF?
አዎ አግኝተናል የጁንታ ተጠርጣሪ የሆኑትና የህዋት የዚህ ቲፒኤልኤፍ አባል የሆኑትን ሰዎች ቤት ውስጥ ተሰብስበው ተደብቀው አግኝተናል እነሱን ሁሉ ህግ እንተስር እንዲውሉ አድርገናል.
But there are no hearings, no charges or trials, and the majority of those detained are Tigrayans. The UN says more than 1,000 have been locked up in the past 2 weeks. But a prominent Tigrayan told us that number is far, far higher.
You can't use your language outside. If you use, you'll be detained, you'll be taken. All are considered as the TPLF. Whether you have other ideas or political opinions, blah, blah, you'll be considered as TPLF.
There is comfort in numbers in this uncomfortable city as the war creeps closer to home. But the ethnic divisions in this troubled nation will prove difficult or impossible to bridge.